your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pledger. Appreciate y'all joining me. However you may be joining me, whether that's on 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be locked in and listening live at sasportstar.com via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you happen to be watching live on our YouTube channel. That's right, we stream all of our shows on YouTube. Just go there, search SA Sports Star. Go ahead and like and subscribe. You're able to follow along, comment along with the show as it happens, or you can always feel free to call in the old-fashioned way at 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. Love to have the conversation with y'all as we get going here on Extra Innings with Pledger. Remember, coming up top of the hour, Major League Baseball All-Star Weekend. All-Star Week is here, and the Home Run Derby kicks it all off tonight from Philadelphia. You can catch it all right here starting after Extra Innings with Pledger at 7 o'clock. Or you can watch it on Netflix because it is on Netflix. But if you're out moving around, be sure and throw it on right here. Keep it locked. We'll keep you up to date on what's going on with all the dingers leaving the yard. But the big thing was Friday, as we were getting ready to get out of here, news broke that we found out that Wemby extension we were all waiting on came through, and it found out, well, he left a little bit of money on the table to help the team. Earlier this morning on the Morning Huddle, Rob and AJ reacting to the extension.
$252 million headed to Victor Wembanyama's bank account over the next 5 years.
Can you imagine sitting at a table and writing your name down, and the moment you wrote the Wembanyama or whatever,
right? The A.
$250 million coming your way no matter what. You just signed for $250 million.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. I'd
like a Bonilla attitude.
Just
no, way better than that.
You want to talk about FU money.
Yeah.
And when you said, and properly so, let's pocket watch it, because the leaving some crumbs on the table, it's not crumbs. I'm not belittling it, but leaving stuff on the table to feed the rest is it's part of the lineage of being a Spur. And when it broke, I can't say that I was that surprised.
Yeah, I can't either. It is sort of like that's a very franchise, something that happens a lot with this team. I think it's not a surprise.
I think it's honest to God. I think it's something that they probably talked about his very first day when he walked into the locker room.
Well, and I also think, that having had the success that they've had so quick, he is a smart enough guy to realize, hey, man, we got a lot of pieces we want to keep in place, because I think that based on
except Fox.
Well, I would guess that Wemby has a better appreciation for Fox than the average Spurs fan does.
Yeah. That water will wash under the bridge soon enough.
But I will say, I do think that the way that how emotional he was after the OKC win lets me know how important winning is to him, which is a great thing. I want it to be. And then honestly, him acting like a little bitch after they lost, where it was like,
oh yeah.
Like not wanting to go to the, where is it at?
Petulant.
Appreciate y'all. See y'all never.
It's like, I know he wants to win. And he understands that it's going to be really difficult to win if he takes the most money he could possibly take. So I'm happy that he did what he did. I think because most of the money that's going to be made in his career will be on that second contract anyway.
I was going to say,
or the third contract.
I don't think this will ever happen again. But and the only reason I say that isn't because that won't be the same guy in 5 years. But I think that the idea of what of the lifespan of a great team has shrunk. I think used to the Spurs were the epitome, the apex of we can keep guys forever. We can keep 3 guys for the entirety of their career. And if they do leave like Tony, it'll be just because you still want to play. Your career was effectively done. I just don't think teams have that lifespan now because
I'm with you.
There's so much money. But he did what the lineage said to do. Allow 5 years. Give us 5 years, and if at the end of that, we will discuss and figure it out. And if we don't have at least a ring and have not fought for others, it will be considered an abject failure, and we might actually need to part ways.
Well, you and I have spoken in hushed tones about like Wemby doesn't feel like Duncan and Ginobili and Robinson. Like he doesn't feel like a lifetime Spur. Like
I don't think anybody is anymore.
The brand is too big for him, and like there's too much money to be made, particularly like if this dude was in New York or LA, like imagine what his star power would be like.
And it's again, I think that he will give as good an effort here as anybody else. This isn't a reflection of him. This is just a reflection of the modern player in the modern league. And I just don't expect the longevity ever to happen again. We look for those of us who appreciate that. And I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing. It just was a thing because I like the transitory nation now that allows me to rebuild teams in 3 years. So I appreciate the modern game. And I understand that you just don't get 10 years of this. And if you do, which I just can't expect, it'll be very hard to be consistently successful because there's too many pieces in flux. Too many pieces change hands every year for you to remain with 3 dudes.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work that way anymore. And it's going to be a tough goodbye because one of these 3 young guys is going to be the first to go. and I don't know who it'll be or how it'll be, but it will happen, and it's not going to be fun.
Well, I mean, quite frankly, I think they'll sign all 3 of them to a second.
Oh no,
deal.
I'm saying that we got 5 years of this,
right.
And in 5 years, one of these guys is going to leave.
Well, I think it's going to be Vic.
Well, I don't know.
That's why I think it's so important for Vic to win during this contract because I think this is the window that like they established yesterday or Friday when they signed this deal. This is the window, which is now, I guess, 6 years because it's he's got 1 year on top of it.
Yeah, he's still got 6, but this is a 5-year deal with a player at the end. So it's really a 4-year deal.
Okay.
So we got 5 years of this.
Yeah. Five years to bring a ring.
And I disagree. I think one of these guys will be forever. I don't know which one will be.
Oh,
one
I do too. I just don't think it'll be Vic.
Well, maybe. I think that they're going to do everything for the next 4 years to, erect the shrine and make it so, that no matter what happens, you don't leave. But I do agree that he would be the most likely just because in 5 years, God knows what's going on. Las Vegas will be in play.
Yep.
You got 2 new teams in play. There's going to be other things that are going to be happening.
There's more money available to him.
Yeah, out of our control. Now we can always pay him more.
Yes.
No, if it just, but
the money he makes on his paycheck is going to be not the only money he can make, and that's when I say like New York or L.A., the amount of money he can make in those towns just on endorsements and things like that and tree trimming jobs is it's on a different level.
And you hope that in that next 5 years he makes enough to where that doesn't matter. But that's a lie. If you tell yourself that it's not about the money, you're lost in a different world. It's always about the money.
Sure.
Even for those with the best intentions, it's always about the money.
Well, I all I know is I'm glad that Vic is around now for the next 5 years. Because again, I think this Spurs team has a chance to be something special, and I think Vic saw it as well, which is why he took the money. I say took the money, like he took 5% less than he could have.
Yeah, I mean he opened up a little bit around $50 million that can be used over the life of the contract. So
it's another guy.
Man, he's a given dude, and not just a dude. This is enough money to bring in a mid-level guy, a guy that can legitimately help you the moment he walks on the floor. So. With the core, what we've seen, what appears to be yet another effective draft class, I can see 2 guys that are going to stick around off this draft class, and maybe 3. So I think that the pipeline is fresh. They got more money available and more number ones to play with over the next several years. So I can't remember a basketball team more set up for now and the future since Oklahoma City. And I say that, and Oklahoma City was quite frankly the first I've ever seen come into a situation where you are not only have current stars, but you got number ones and unprotected top 5 picks waiting on you. You got guys that'll take less money. You got team, you've got environment, you've got everything that you need to win. And the Spurs sit in the catbird seat unlike any team since the first team to do it in Oklahoma City.
Yep. So, and if they can put together a run, I think that, I think you're right. I think the timeline of dynasties has shrunk. I think Golden State was probably the last time we'll see a team that goes like 7 years or something like that. I don't think I just think the way contracts are built now, it's very difficult to do.
And I think even in hindsight, those that make decisions with Golden State would say we probably should have started doing something a little bit sooner.
Probably. Yeah, and I think you're probably right. But I do think that because the second apron, it's just going to be so much harder to keep together these elite teams.
Mm-hmm.
So for Vic to sign this deal now, you got 5 years, and you're on the right timeline with the other key players on this team.
And then don't discount Billy Donovan sitting on the bench.
That helps too.
Holy cow,
that helps too. Help. So lots of good news for the Spurs. He was eligible to negotiate the day after they got knocked out of the finals. But he had to go. He went to France.
That deal was done.
I think it was done.
He knew what he was signing. That deal was in place. I would say by the end of the season, they already had a real strong idea where he was going to land and how much they were going to have.
Yeah, that's kind of the beautiful thing is when you've got contracts that are so easy, because it's not like the Spurs would have paid it. They weren't going to pay him that extra 5%.
Oh, happily. But what helps is they were allowed to go into this free agency immediately, knowing full well this is what I'm going to have. And man, that's really all you need. Just tell me how much I'm going to have over the next couple of years, so I can go make legitimate offers to teams without going and making an offer to a player and then going, don't call me back yet because I got to call 2 dudes that are going to get contracts in 2 years, and I got to get kind of a comfortable feeling that they're willing to give up a little bit so we get this guy now. You can come in with it's like buying a house. I got the money in the bank, man. Let's make a deal. And I think they went into it, and that's how they ended up with a guy like Tobias. They knew full well we've got a little bit of an opening here for 5 years. We can afford an older dude to come and go because I'm going to have an opening in 2 years with even more money than the regular guy knows. So it made everything a lot easier.
KC brings up an interesting point. The NBA Players Association, who's upset about players taking. I know they don't,
and that's why that's good. That's a good thing.
But you know what? Like he says, why is it bad players want to take deals so they can have a better team around them? Because the NBA Players Association is not made for guys like
the top
Wembanyama.
No.
Like because if the Players Association didn't exist, those guys could get all the money they wanted, and then they'd pay the rest of the guys peanuts. The Players Association is made so the lower tier guys can still get a little, get their little taste.
Yeah, that's there's nothing wrong with that. And they didn't tell him no. They just strongly advise against it. You get a call from the union rep going, man, you got to take it all because the next guy down the pike is going to be expected to do the same thing. It's pressure, but it's not. You don't have to. I mean, and they're not going to turn down his dues and throw him out of the union.
Right.
I mean, so. Yeah, I get it because there's a lot of mid-level dudes that say, yeah, man, I'm going to get mine. You better go get yours.
Yep.
Because we need to, and also we need to push this salary cap to the limits as many times as we can so that when we come up to the next negotiation, they grow the pie.
But this is not, I mean, I just think that if this is what you're getting upset about, you're upset about the wrong things.
Even players are winking at it. Like, yeah, man, I get it.
Yeah. Wemby's going to be well compensated.
Dude,
trust me. Don't worry. But
what would you do? Well,
the back end players are like, man, get yours.
You got to know Wemby's already worth $50 million. Just he could already find it in the cushions right now if he had to find it. Knowing that, you just signed a $250 million contract. What's your extravagance? What's the thing that you go, this is what I'm going to go get to signify this moment in my life? It's extravagant beyond belief, but this is going to signify this contract.
Calf implants.
What? I'm going to Turkey. Full makeover. Top.
Incredible. Look, there's a lot that can happen. Leaving that money on the table does give them the financial flexibility moving forward to do certain things, and they did something today. They just re-signed Jordan McLaughlin, bringing him back on a 1-year, $3.3 million deal. Now, didn't see a lot of minutes, played just under 7 minutes a game, 44 games for the Spurs, but did shoot 42.5% from three, averaged over 2 points, 1 rebound, and half a steal in those 44 games. So some depth to their unit. And, after Fox, Harper, and Castle, there's not a ton of guard depth behind them. You got Devin Vassell, and it's kind of about it. Everybody else kind of plays in the front court, three forward. So bringing back at least someone that knows the system, and potentially with that time in the system can develop into a little bit bigger of a role. But we keep talking about this Wemby extension. Well, there's been some backlash on that extension. Spurs been caught in a couple of things involving some backlash over the last 4 or 5 days as we got into the weekend. You got Wemby's extension drawing ire for some reason from talking heads. And of course, the Jacob Toby situation that broke last week. We'll get into a little bit of that as we continue here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Coming up on the Morning Huddle, who hit the longest of the dongs?
Major League Baseball's All-Star Game's here. We didn't even know it, but we're going to get you ready for that. And, hey, World Cup is right there. So much to talk about that we really don't even care about. We'll get there early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, there's nothing I hate more than dishonest business practices. So I built the company GiveMeTheVin.com around this slogan. We do what we say we're going to do when we say we're going to do it. At GiveMeTheVin.com, we show up at your house, check in hand, pay off your payoff. It's just that simple. GiveMeTheVin.com. We're the only 5-star BBB rated card buyer out there.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
$30 million in guaranteed prizes. Cash in this football season in Las Vegas with 3 Circus Sports contests. Entry starting at $1,000, all with no rate. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action. Circus Survivor, pick one winner each week, no point spread. And the Big Daddy, Circa Grandissimo, with a $100,000 entry fee. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circusports.com for details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pledger. Appreciate y'all rolling along with me and as we take you up till 7 o'clock and get you ready for the Home Run Derby coming up at the top of the hour. As we've been talking Spurs, Jordan McLaughlin resigns. He is back in San Antonio. 1 year, $3.3 million deals. Gives them continuity, gives them another guard in the backcourt that, you know, everybody keeps talking about all these guards they have. Well, outside of the big three, there's not a ton of them. But there has been a lot of blowback when it comes to the Wemby situation. And initially, when we heard about the Jacob Toby situation, and Danny Green, he was on a podcast a little bit earlier talking about multiple things. First Take talking about the Wemby situation, but he also brought up the Jacob Toby situation. That was something that Jason and Joe were talking about a little bit earlier today on the Blitz, as most people celebrated for taking less money to allow their team to remain competitive in the salary cap era. For some reason, that's not happening with Victor Wembanyama.
Most of our polls are fairly close. The last most lopsided poll question that we had came a week ago or so, when the vast majority thought that the Spurs handled the Jacob Toby situation wrong. In other words, guy shouldn't have gotten fired for cheating on his girlfriend. Now, still nothing official from the San Antonio Spurs. Nothing publicly said or commented by Jacob Toby on any of his social accounts or anywhere else that I have seen. And nobody from the Spurs talking about Jacob Toby.
Yeah, they're not going to.
Although Danny Green, who does do some work for the San Antonio Spurs, did weigh in on a podcast.
First and foremost, I want to say I love everything the Spurs do and how they operate as an organization. They run a tight ship. They don't deal with no BS, and they don't like drama. So I understand certain issues. They're going to be like, no, we can't allow this. To me, this was not one of those issues. And I know Jacob Toby, he said he got my first opportunity to call a game with him. He's actually done some live podcasts with me.
Wow.
He showed up. He showed love. He's always been a really good dude in that sense. This is not a domestic violence case. It's just right. And again, I don't know if they did an investigation or not. A lot of it's hearsay. You saw some pictures. We don't know what the timetable of it was, if he was with this girl or not, or if he was even dating his girl at the time while he was with this girl. His girl could have made it up. And she hacked this, social media, and she wanted to ruin his life. And you allowed that to happen. He's a really good dude, great person. I thought this was a foul. I was not happy about it. Really disappointed in this decision. And I hope he lands on his feet, because he was great for them. His play-by-play, like his energy, how he talked the game, called the game, even during the playoffs final, like he was around for a while, and he had some really great calls. And he's a young kid, man. People make mistakes. But, again, this was something that was not breaking the law. He didn't beat anybody up. He wasn't loitering or DUI or, anything crazy. He has a relationship. This is behind closed doors. His personal life. Should leave that person. But he couldn't control how it came out. This woman did. And now you kind of gave her power by allowing, this fallout to happen.
Paul, what's interesting about what Danny said there, and I agree with most of what he said. I just put that out there. He allowed revenge social media, or the Spurs did, to win. Because look, and I think they were dating, because the reports that I read, they were her grandmothers or his grandmothers or whatever, and he was asleep, and that's when she sent all that stuff out. And a woman scorned. That's what he does. I'm not saying it's right what he did, none of that kind of stuff, but I'm just not sure that this rises to the level even to embarrassing the franchise. I mean, you better hope that, and I say this, and I don't know anything, and I'm just throwing this out there, and I'm not going to mention anybody's name, but I mean, what if it was a player that happened to? I mean, would they just cut the player? Would they get rid of the player?
Well,
or a coach, or whatever?
History says no, but it does depend on the player. Now, Danny was talking on the No Fouls Given podcast with Paul Pierce and others, and to the fact that he dropped in loitering. I mean, we know the Spurs are a no nonsense organization, and it was embarrassing for the organization. A couple of days and then it's gone. Now, the idea, though,
embarrassing for the organization. How?
Because
how
it was
honestly
it was everywhere.
So
it was everywhere, and the Spurs are linked to it everywhere. I could see where the organization says that's embarrassing. It took 2 or 3 days after, so I'm guessing there were phone calls made. HR, attorneys, whatever. Now, we talked about this last week, and, Colin Cowherd said the same thing we did. Dude, get a lawyer. My guess is, as we said last week when this happened, I'm sure the Spurs attorneys looked over all this as well, or they're expecting it. And, if
because again, they've made nothing official. If they did decide for a guy they just signed to a multi-year extension right after the finals, remember he posted that on social media. He was playing golf with Sean Elliott when his contract came in on the phone, and he did the DocuSign right there. I mean, props to Danny Green though, because he has done some fill-in work with the Spurs and is still considered very much part of the Spurs family to give an honest answer and not just kind of sidestep it.
Well, and I appreciate that too, and I think he should, and I don't think it's bad to go against. I love the Spurs organization. I love the people there. I just think this was a little over the top. I think you make the kid apologize, and sorry I embarrassed everybody. I shouldn't have done it. Yada yada yada. I'll do better. But I just don't think this was a fireable offense. And I don't know if there's something else that we just don't know about. Perhaps, maybe that's the case, and I don't know. But as with the information we have right now, I just think they could have handled this a lot better, and especially to a guy you thought enough of to give him a long-term contract. And he'd done a good job, and the chemistry between he and Sean just took off.
It was incredible. But the one thing that Danny said, and I've heard some others say this, quote, "You now kind of gave her power by allowing that fallout to happen." There are a lot of nervous people out there that are now wondering, can they lose their job over something like this? Which again is the bigger surprise. I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure either, but it's happened, and everybody's quiet right now. We'll see what Jacob Toby does, if anything. Maybe he just lets this go away and tries to get another job somewhere else. In the meantime, Spurs need a new play-by-play announcer and a TV network. So,
yeah,
they've got a lot of work to do between now and then. Now and the season starts. So there you go. Victor Wembanyama is just having a great summer. Signs a 5-year extension, 250. What is it? 252, 251 in that neighborhood. But he's getting hammered by a lot of NBA former players, agents, that kind of stuff, because he didn't accept the contract with the bonuses that he could get for winning MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, first team All NBA, all of that kind of stuff. Left that on the table. It's about $50 million.
Yeah. And again, that's one thing that when you look at this, he took the max instead of the super max. So that 5% kicker. But the 5% kicker only if he qualifies. Now, all of us expect him to qualify, but that's also saying, all right, you're going to play 65 games. And we know how tough it was for him to play 65 last year. They worked hard to get him to qualify to go win Defensive Player of the Year. Now, so basically he left bonus money on the table. Bonus money we expect him to be able to go get. But the guaranteed part of his money, he's getting all of that. Agents and the Players Association, they don't like this because their job is to go get every nickel they can for their clients. And they never want somebody to take less because that puts pressure on other players to do the same. And if they don't, they could get labeled as selfish, especially if you don't win a title or you can't sign this guy because that guy's making all the money. And the challenge is with a salary cap is to manage all those big contracts. That's why there are some people that seemingly are against it, like ESPN's Vince Goodwill this morning on First Take.
I hate it because ain't neither one of us sitting here going to leave money on the table. I think it sets a bad precedent for the NBA. I think in terms of the Players Association and the collective bargaining deals since 1998, they have progressively gone in favor of the owners. And the problem is the Spurs have 3 potential max players on their roster: Victor Wembanyama, Steph Castle, Dylan Harper. Victor Wembanyama maybe can make up that 5% with his Nike deal and everything else. But does that mean Dylan Harper and Steph Castle, they have to take less because Victor Wembanyama took less? I have yet to see anybody buy a jersey that says we save money on the back of it. I've yet to see somebody buy a jersey that says cap space and flexibility. Like, you're coming to see Victor Wembanyama and you're watching these players. Like, they have a very finite period of time to maximize their earnings potential. I know Victor Wembanyama's an alien and everything else. He's going to get every dollar that's owed to him. But I don't know if I want to applaud this, because I'll tell you this. When's the last time we asked an owner to sacrifice some money or whatever it is, or ownership groups to sacrifice money for the sake of winning? The fact that you're putting players in a spot where they have to be both player and executive, give them 2 salaries then, because they're doing 2 people's jobs, and I don't like that.
See, and that's just apples and oranges, what you said there. And it kind of ruins his entire argument as far as I'm concerned, because owners, what do you mean sacrifice to get players? What are they going to sacrifice to get players?
Well, they have a salary cap.
Well, they do, and it's just it's just dumb. Again, Wemby made a decision. He's got an agent. His agent obviously is okay with him leaving that bonus money on the table. So, or if or that was Wemby's decision, either way, and he had to live with it. So the Rich Pauls of the world, I mean, dude, you advise your client to do what is best for your client. Wemby did what he thought was best for him, and I have no problem with it. And when it comes time for Steph Castle and Dylan Harper to get their deal, then they've got to make a decision as to what they want to do. And you're right. I mean, everybody's hammering De'Aaron Fox for the money he's making and the flop job he had in the playoffs. Okay, there's a chance for that to happen to anybody and everybody. So because of that, what should De'Aaron Fox give some of that money back? No. I mean, it's ridiculous. So you make the decision what's best for you at that particular time. That's exactly what Wemby did. It's exactly what Tim Duncan did. And it's what Jalen Brunson did. And he's not getting hammered for this.
Well, all those guys got celebrated. Tom Brady celebrated for always taking less, yet there are others out there, Dak Prescott, that take a lot of criticism for not leaving money on the table. And sometimes it's, what have you done? And we as fans, we look at all this money and we try to determine who's worth it, right? This guy is Dak Prescott worth $60 million? How many times has that come up? The answer is no. But Jerry gave it to him. One guy thought he was, and that's what matters. Others, a Josh Allen, what's $5 million when you're talking about 50, 60 million? I'm not going to miss it, right? But it does create flexibility. There will be some pressure on a Steph Castle and a Dylan Harper to do the same. That, I think, is true. But if they don't, I'm not going to blame them. I'm surprised. I said last week, Vic, especially on your first contract, you go get every nickel you can. That's what you should do. Maximize on your first contract. If you want a hometown discount, if you will, on a second or third or fourth contract, sure. But your first one, you have no idea how long you're going to be in the league. You go get everything that you can. Now, Vic, all his endorsement money, all these guys have endorsement money. Some not quite like a Vic, because he's Vic, but they're all going to be fine.
They're all going to be fine. And look, the celebration for someone like Josh Allen taking less because he didn't necessarily need to be the highest paid, or when you look at Tom Brady over the length of his career and what he was able to do in order to keep teams that can win Super Bowls around him. Jalen Brunson this past year. I mean, the list goes on of guys that have taken less for success in sports that are hindered by a salary cap. So the more one player takes up, the less of the pie to surround yourself with great talent. This should be applauded, not vilified. And it feels like, at least in the media over the past weekend, there's been a lot of negativity towards Victor Wembanyama leaving that $51 million on the table for the Supermax. And it just shouldn't be that way. He should be praised for what he's doing and putting winning championships above everything else. Because let's face it, he's still going to make a ton of money over his career. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You want to be a part of the conversation. Plus, ESPN releases its top 10 quarterbacks, and Dak Prescott Well, he comes in at number 6. Should he be at 6? Should he be higher or lower? We'll discuss as we continue here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month with Window Nation at 50% off all window styles. Yes, 50% off new, beautiful, energy-efficient windows, plus 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 2 years. Call now, 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
Experience the wildest weekend of the summer at Retama Park for camel, ostrich, and zebra racing this weekend. Reserve your table in terrace dining or catch all the action from Clubhouse 95. Visit tickets.retamapark.com for all the details.
Progressive presents perfectly bad excuses for missing stuff to spend more time on your motorcycle.
Hey, Suze, can't make it to your party. Gotta defrost some chicken. There's tenders, boneless thighs. Gotta keep an eye on it.
Now that was a bad excuse. If you love your vehicle this much, get customized coverage from Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in DC.
Dave Ramsey here, and I love my Connecticut water softener. Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut water softener, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, complete with a color fixture to match your kitchen. That means cleaner, better tasting water for coffee, cooking, ice, and everyday drinking. The Connecticut K5 drinking water station removes up to 99% of many contaminants and can be customized for your home. So instead of buying bottled water or wondering what's really coming out of your tap, you get cleaner, great tasting water right where you use it most. A Connecticut runs on energy from your water flow, which means no electricity, no timer, and no computer that can break. With its twin tank system, you get soft water 24/7. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country for a free water test at 210-656-PURE and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
I like shorts that are pretty short.
What do kids want to wear back to school? We ask them.
I love wearing things that make me feel confident. They have to be like really comfortable too. Yeah. Nike shoes, running shoes.
Like I think I wear my Birkenstocks every single day.
I just wear what I want and I let other people wear what they want.
Right now at Academy Sports and Outdoors, get 20% off backpacks from brands like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, and more. In-store and online. Academy. Fun can't lose.
Don't miss the San Antonio Gunslingers' final home game of the season this Sunday, July 19th at 3 p.m. It's our Wild Outlaw game. The first 1,000 fans through the door get a custom Gunslinger bandana absolutely free, plus huge end-of-season merch specials. Gear up before it's gone. This is your last chance to catch the Gunslingers live at home this year. Bring the family, bring the noise, and let's send them out with a bang. Get your tickets now at sagunslingers.com or at the box office Sunday. Guns up!
Let's be honest. Watching the Rangers is better when you got something on the line. On Rangers game days, call your shot with the morning huddles. Rangers double dinger payday. Pick the Ranger you think will send one into the seats. He hits one, you're going to a Rangers game. He hits two, now you've just been upgraded. Tickets and a hotel stay. That's what we call getting paid. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Make your pick and win with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
This is AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6 for the perfect ride to work on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Football season is right around the corner in 3 weeks. Time the Cowboys check into Oxnard for training camp to begin for them. We're just about a week and a half away, I believe, from NFL training camp starting, as the Panthers and Cardinals, who are playing in the Hall of Fame game, will open up training camps, I believe, in the next week, late next week. And we're right there. Season 3 of Quarterback premieres tomorrow night on Netflix. Cam Ward, Baker Mayfield, Jaden Daniels, and Joe Flacco as the Quarterback series returns on Netflix. And speaking of quarterbacks, It is that time of year where ESPN lists its ranks of the top players at their position across all of the NFL. And today dropped the quarterback list. And, well, Dak Prescott found himself just outside the top 5.
The other thing that's the big topic today is the top 10 quarterback list. That's the coaches, scouts, executives around the NFL rank the top 10 quarterbacks in the league.
We love secret polls.
Yes. Who do you really believe is better? Who do you believe? But maybe the name that surprised me the most where he was on the list was Dakota Prescott.
Why? I don't understand why. This isn't about winning Super Bowls. This is a look at his numbers that justified. I mean, the guy's a pretty decent quarterback.
He is pretty decent.
But again, we also have to judge the totality of the competition he's against. There's a lot of pretty decent quarterbacks, and there's not very many really good to great ones. But that's typical. We got 6 guys that we think can always win a Super Bowl, and everybody else is just good.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, there's some that I'm like, the guys that – so this is coaches, executives, and scouts. Not players, coaches, executives, and
they
scouts.
have entirely different perspectives on some of this. Not all of it, but yes, they do have. And I do think some of the good things about Dak are the things that GMs and coaches love, where players are like, yeah, but show me. Do it against me on a field.
And really, Dak being ahead of Justin Herbert was the one that kind of shocked me, because there's not a scout in the world that looks at those two guys, throwing a football and says, "Oh, I'll take Dak." I don't believe that. But there is, I guess, maybe they think Dak's got some kind of intangibles. The one guy that I knew would not be on this list under any circumstance was Jalen Hurts. And I'm glad to see that he wasn't, because they're like,
you'd be embarrassed if you
scouts look at that and go,
no way. There's one scout in all of it football, and he's the guy who scouted him, who's no longer with Philadelphia, that could even go, yeah, he's great, man. He's top 5 for me.
Yeah. Now, and there are lists, like there's some top quarterback list that would say that, well, Jalen Hurts has to be ahead of Dak.
As soon as you put that down,
I'm glad that that's not the case with this list. It makes the list feel a little more real to me.
I discount you immediately, but this is also does not predict future returns either. I think this is all about previous performance.
Well, okay, now we'll get to the top 5 in a minute. Dak was 6, Justin Herbert 7, Drake May 8. Which that's a lot
with
of
a bullet
respect.
Yeah.
And be careful, because
look how far he went, though.
Remember where Jaden Daniels was a year ago.
That. And I still put Jaden in that upper third.
Remember where CJ Stroud was the year before that. And now CJ Stroud might even get who knows what he might not even get a contract now. And Jared Goff 9, which I think Jared Goff is like the most milk toast.
Well, you're in the milk toast region.
And then Caleb Williams 10.
Milk toast.
Although I can see how scouts would love Caleb Williams, because Caleb Williams can do some things physically that a lot of guys can't do. The top 5, the order of it was interesting to me. Josh Allen, number 1.
He should be.
Okay. Based on
stats. No, that's all we can quantify to this moment. That doesn't mean he's a better quarterback than Pat Mahomes, but to me, if all we can go off is the tangible things.
Okay.
And that I put him there, but Mahomes has the intangibles that puts him either 1A or 1 even.
Then Mahomes, but he doesn't have the stats in recent years.
Mahomes doesn't, but he makes up for it.
But he's number 2.
And he should be.
But he hasn't won a Super Bowl in the last 3 years.
But he has a Super Bowl, and that's why he's still there. And I know him I know he's that good. Now, I don't have to see numbers because he has the Super Bowl. I've seen the greatness when everything's around
him. Number 3, Matt Stafford.
Which
I think he's finally getting some love because it's felt like for the last several years we've talked about the big 4, Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, and Lamar, and Matt Stafford hasn't been talked about much. But Matt Stafford, what he's done in the last couple of years certainly warrants that love.
Throwing darts, he's one of the best to ever do it.
And of those top 5, besides Mahomes, he's the only one who's got any kind of jewelry.
Yeah, and also all what he just passed 30,000 yards.
He's a freak show.
Yeah, so no, I have no issue with that at all. And even even though he does have the Super Bowl, his numbers certainly continue to justify it. I mean, he had MVP year last year.
Joe Burrow, number 4, and Lamar Jackson, 5.
Fading.
Is that what the general thought is? I mean, Joe Burrow never even plays, and he stays in the top 5 somehow.
I think that's wishful thinking, but I do know what he looks like when he's healthy, and I mean, he's taken his team to a Super Bowl, and he's done the right things, even though we haven't seen it lately. I trust him.
Okay,
but we're down to the end.
Why are we down to the end with him?
Well, I'm just saying we're down to the end of the quarterbacks that I think are capable of either single-handedly or in great part win a Super Bowl. We're at the end of the list.
Well,
and that's why Dak's 6th, because he's not that guy.
So it's just those 5 dudes?
That's it, in my mind. But that's nothing new.
Yeah.
I mean,
those 5 dudes and Sam Darnold, apparently.
Maybe, and Darnold might actually become that.
No,
but I do think those 5 guys, and Lamar's still part of that crew, that can single-handedly go win you a playoff game. And there's just not a lot of dudes that can do that.
You're not the only one I've heard talk about like Lamar's on the way out or Lamar's fading. And I don't know that I really see it.
I feel like what's going to happen, it's going to be kind of like a running back who loses a step because he's relied so much on athleticism. And I'm not taking anything away from his arm because his arm has actually gotten better every year he's played. I trust him to be a pocket passer if he wants to be. I'm just not sure his mentality will lend itself to being that when the speed starts to decline.
I mean, could you argue the same for Josh Allen?
Josh is of a size that allows him to do some things that Lamar can. And Lamar can get out, has some escapability with speed that he can't match. I just feel like as Josh ages, he's of the build to take some shots and can stand in there and deliver and had to do some things that Lamar, quite frankly, is uncomfortable doing, though fully capable of when he has to.
Yeah. I will say, though, like, Lamar is certainly a smarter runner than Josh. Like Josh eats contact that he shouldn't eat.
Oh, I agree with that.
And that's a little bit frustrating. So it wouldn't shock. I know he's big, but eventually he's going to get hurt. Like it's just the way it is.
I think Drake May is headed in the right direction, though. I think Drake could actually join this club soon.
I think he takes a step back this year.
You think? Well, maybe everybody has that second-year bump. But what I have seen of him, he does appear to be one of those guys that will grow into a quarterback that I trust to go win a football game.
Yeah.
A big game.
Well, we'll see when he doesn't play literally the worst schedule in the NFL.
No, there's a lot between there. But of all the guys that are coming in that top 10, I think he's the one that could join the list.
But it's a new one every year. That's why I say be mindful that 3 years ago it was C.J. Stroud. 2 years ago it was Jaden Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's Drake May. All right.
I went long on Daniels. I did. And was wrong. But I
don't know that you're wrong yet. I just think that it's like.
No, I mean, as far as the next year, I thought productivity would continue, and it just didn't. I think May has that to me. I think that of all the guys out there, and there's some really talented young quarterbacks, he looks like the one that's got the stuff between the ears to kind of carry him through.
It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out this year because we're waiting on CJ Stroud to take a step forward. Now that the pieces are around him, does he take that step forward back to closer what he looked like his rookie year, or does the downfall continue? And Jalen Hurts is a guy that it's going to be interesting to see without A.J. Brown there, how that offense performs with Jalen Hurts at quarterback and if they can continue to make the moves. And, of course, you always wonder about that guy in San Francisco that just continues to win but continues not to get the respect.
I'm done with the Brock Purdy slander.
More on the NFL quarterbacks as we continue here on San Antonio Sports Star 941 FM, sasportstar.com. This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle for DraftKings. Did you know that DraftKings is now live in all 50 states? Yes, that means us right here in Texas. The Cup is down to the final matches. One trophy, one champion. DraftKings has you covered for every single one. The DraftKings app is now live in Texas. So whether you're catching the early kickoff before work or the late match at the bar, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app right here in Texas, the world's biggest stage right in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers sign up with code 941 Sports Star. Spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards over 21 days. That's code 941 Sports Star. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim. Issued in non-withdrawable predictions, dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends July 19th. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo.
Soccer fans, you know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. From World Cup to baseball to all the fights, get into the Roo Pub. And when you show up at the Roo, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you.
Kohl's knows summer comes with a few family debates, like what's the best ice cream flavor, or who gets the good pool noodle. But when it comes to Kohl's summer outfits, everyone's in agreement. They're comfy, they're cool, they're stylish. And the best part, they're 20% off. Make the season a little easier with looks your whole family will sign off on at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles. Offer ends July 19th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Girl, it's back. We've been waiting. I love that honey pepper pimento sandwich.
And that pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite is everything. It's got that razzle dazzle that makes you stop and say, okay, wait a minute.
I love the creaminess of the pimento cheese. It's savory. It's bold. It's flavorful.
Our faves are back. I thought, girl.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
On BritBox, there is a place where stories twist like cobblestone roads. Grand manners hide secrets, and stakes are higher than seaside cliffs. Find places worth getting lost in on BritBox. Watch a new series like The Other Bennett Sister from the world of Jane Austen and A Woman of Substance starring Golden Globe winner Brenda Blethyn. If you want to get away, you're in the right place. Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Free trial at BritBox.com.
San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pleasure. Appreciate y'all rolling with me this evening as we take you up to the Home Run Derby coming up here at the top of the hour. And it's gonna be fun. It'll be on Netflix tonight. So you're gonna log in there. Make sure you know where you're watching it. It's going to be an interesting broadcast crew because Elle Duncan is anchoring alongside Barry Bonds, Albert Pujols, Anthony Rizzo, Hunter Pence, CeCe Sabathia, and a special guest contributor with Michael Irvin, which should be fun. And the participants also not bad because you've got a couple of hometown guys for the Phillies, Kyle Schwarber, who is your home run leader, and Bryce Harper, who we have not seen in this in a while. You're going to have Joe Camino of the Rays, Willie Contreras of the Red Sox, Murakami of the White Sox, Ben Rice of the Yankees, Jordan Walker of the Cardinals, and Jack Caglione of the Royals all taking part. And I know I'm going to be cheering for Bryce Harper. I enjoy Bryce Harper. I think he's a fun dude. The hair, everything, the swag. He's just a vibe. I want to cheer for that vibe. I liked his idea of allowing in the finals metal bats just to see how far they could potentially hit it with a metal bat. That could be interesting, or maybe not even in the finals, just like a lightning round thing or a swing off thing. Just give them a metal bat and let them go crazy, and let's see how far they could go. That could be a lot of fun. Fred Robert Caceres says he's ready for football season. He's ready for the Cowboys to start, ready to check that out. I'm with you. RA, Best Bail Bonds. Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage will start coming up here in just a couple of weeks as we get set to go to Oxnard, California. But right now, we're getting set to send you to Philadelphia for the Home Run Derby, first part of All-Star Weekend, coming up next right here on San Antonio Sports Star 941 FM, sasportstar.com. Be sure to call your loved ones, check on them. You never know what people are going through in life, and a simple, hey, how you doing, can change everything. This has been Extra Innings with Pleasure on 941 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you or someone you love is struggling with alcohol or drug
Yeah.
use, you do not have to carry it alone. I'm Peter McCarthy of the San Antonio Council on Alcohol and Drug Awareness, known as CICADA. We help people take the next step with compassion